So this is going to be another zombie video. I had a couple of visions and dreams of zombies. My youngest did too. A couple of years ago, she had a dream and she saw zombies in America because we're in America. And then she saw the British military coming to help us out, which makes sense because we're still under the crown and they help to run this matrix, the District of Columbia, which is London, Washington, D.C., and Rome. So the reading of Revelation, death and Hades will be destroyed because all angels work for Yahuwah, good or bad. They work for Yahuwah. So when we broke covenant, Daddy brought a destroyer to us to enslave us and to take our lands from us. So now that the judgments have been switched, now Daddy's bringing another destroyer to Babylon, America, and that is Gog and Magog, Russia and China. They're here. In this video, it's going to talk about the zombie epidemic, like I explained earlier. So the book of Revelation, it tells you that the dragon Satan will be released from prison after 1,000 years, right? And he will be by the shore with Gog and Magog and the other nations. That is the United Nations. The soldiers there in America are UN soldiers. To battle against Jehovah's people, those are the people that are still breaking covenant because Daddy starts at his house first. It's not going to stop only our people. He's going to go after everybody. So you see, that's the head of Leviathan or the serpent. And he is by Caracas, Venezuela, Colombia, named after the goddess. That is the head of the serpent. It tells you that Adonai will defend Jerusalem. And Adonai will send a plague on other people who fought Jerusalem. They will become like walking corpses, their flesh rotting away, their eyes will shrivel in their sockets, and their tongues will decay in their mouths. So this is where we're at right now, the zombie epidemic. Adonai will defend Jerusalem. I will make Jerusalem and Jehudah like a cup of poison to all the nearby nations that will send their armies to surround Jerusalem. You see, a double portion of the bitter cup. That like is in like the World Cup, the FIFA Cup, symbolism for it. This is the double portion of the bitter cup are our enemies.
Louisiana could be in play at this point. A very unpredictable storm this is. The dragon has been released.
Apparently, Robert, more dragons to come.
The dragon has been released.
So a couple of years ago, scientists, Russian scientists, unearthed a zombie virus. And if you have the time, watch the music video by Metallica called All Nightmare Long, which is quite interesting. It's them releasing a zombie virus in America so that we can eat our own. That's what it says. So you have the time. It's called All Nightmare Long. There's New York City, and there are your zombies. Back to Zechariah 14:12. That is the reading. In the scriptures, it tells you that he will pose and exalt himself above every so-called God or object of worship. So he will see himself in the temple of Jehovah, proclaiming to be Jehovah. So we are the temple of Jehovah. It tells you in the scriptures that he lives inside of us, so we are the living temple. So that means that this thing will get into Daddy's temple, which is our bodies. So I will share this video. Lucifer erase. Lucifer race. So the seed of the soul, that's the pineal gland, that's the seed of the soul, which is Daddy's throne. That's when the book of Revelation, it talks about Daddy's throne. It has crystal waters because the pineal gland has crystal waters. And as you watch this video, it tells you that this injection will replace Daddy's crystal waters with their crystal waters. So he will sit on Daddy's throne.
In an old video from 1995, a theology professor named Pierre Gilbert warned of mandatory vaccines that would turn recipients into zombies. He speaks in French, so I will translate. In the biological destruction, there are the organized tempests on the magnetic fields. What will follow is the contamination of the bloodstreams of mankind, creating intentional infections. This will be enforced via laws that will make vaccination mandatory, and these vaccines will make possible to control people. The vaccines will have liquid crystals that will become hosted in the brain cells, which will become micro receivers of electromagnetic fields, where waves of very low frequencies will be sent. And through these low frequency waves, people will be unable to think. You'll be turned into a zombie. Don't think of this as a hypothesis. This has been done. Think of Rwanda. There isn't much information I could find about Pierre Gilbert, but what he said 26 years ago certainly rings true today. In 2016, The Guardian published Genetically Engineered Magnetoprotein Remotely Controls Brain and Behavior. Here we can see zebrafish larvae that have been injected with magneto being manipulated with magnetic fields. In March of 2020, Defense One published an article on how hydrogel biosensors are ready to be injected into people's bodies, funded by DARPA and Bill Gates. If you search magnetic nanoparticles, you will find several articles and videos explaining the so-called benefits of this invasive technology that can control parts of the human body via external frequencies. Livestock needs to be branded and tracked, and the enslavement of humanity is voluntary, which is why the so-called vaccines are voluntary.
It's glowing. Now I go down my arm and it gets worse. I have a little dot here, but the worst part, look at the vein in my hand. It glows. Exactly where I got the shot.
You're a dirty needle, you're in my blood and there's no curing it. Yeah, and I wanna run like the blood from a wound to a place you can't see me. 'Cause love, like a blow to the head, has left me stunned and I'm reeling. Yeah, I'm reeling. And if you go, furious angels will bring you back to me. Yeah.
Are electroparasites that they have introduced into us. Electroparasites, they're cellular micro devices. And apparently they're in all the different vaccine types. And they're just floating around. They seem to congregate. They do different things. They seem to be able to wiggle and some are fibrous, some are glowing in different colors. They're employing properties of what you find in nanotech anyway. And the Morgellons people were finding this in their bodies, and they were suffering extremely. Some of them had giant lesions that let out, I hate to say this because people are going to think I'm crazy, but you can watch my videos on YouTube. They're still up there and all over, from chemtrails to pseudo-life. So the people were issuing from their bodies, in some cases, bits of bark, twigs, leaves. These were life forms that the bodies were making from this assembling material.
Well, let me just say a couple of things here, Sophia, as we continue this incredible conversation about what's happening to humanity, this anti-human terroristic plot to destroy humanity and to make people transhuman. My friend Firemedic 8, whose video is there at the top of the phaser.com as we're having this conversation, in a different video, he likes to study all sorts of different things, you know, what's in the air, what's in the water. He put out a dish, and then the next day he took a look at what was in the rainwater, and he found these Morgellons-like structures in rainwater. I don't want to startle anyone, but it really does seem like these things are kind of everywhere.
Microwave radiation pulsing through our urban world today could very well be the newest phase of a giant experiment. With the signing of the Atomic Energy Act in 1946, the Manhattan Project became the Atomic Energy Commission, which created the Joint Committee on Atomic Energy. This was an independent, all-powerful congressional entity, the most powerful secret committee in modern history, free from oversight and with legislative authority. It was done away with in 1977, the same year the Atomic Energy Commission was renamed the Department of Energy. Today, the Department of Energy is known as the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, DEEP, D-E-E-P. Its ostensible focus, exploring production of energy for the welfare of the planet and protection of the environment, when the environment is really being taken apart and changed.
What are you gonna do? Tie those sheets together. All right. You know what kind of knots you're gonna use? It's not so you don't fall down. Tuck it. Land. Anybody have anything to add?
All of their investments.
Eating deer on the side of the road.
Investing in bite
raw.
I guess y'all forgot that quickly that just a couple weeks ago, before people were eating raw rabbits on the side of the road with the fur still on them. Yeah. Trigger warning, I'm gonna show a pic. But a couple weeks before that, y'all don't remember Flatbush? That guy would just see this lady walking down the street with a pack of chicken, raw. And he's like, is that good? And she's like, is the blue cat still over there?
Is the blue cat over there still here?
I don't know.
Oh.
Is that good?
What?
Does that taste good?
It's delicious.
It's delicious?
Bro, these people are zombies. This is what we were talking about. And now it ain't just here. It's happening in London too. London town. Supposedly over in London town, groups of people have been spotted eating groups of people. And by the way, it's not the people calling it a zombie apocalypse. It's the Texas constable. Now, how many constables do you know, if you know it, would sit down, write it up, type it up, print it up, and hand it out in a flyer saying this is how you prepare for an oncoming, incoming, possible zombie apocalypse? If there wasn't one on the horizon, just for nothing, he got his phone number on it and everything, his address and his phone number if you have any fucking questions. No, this is serious. And then you got women in white dresses on the beach looking like they got bags under their eyes, asking people on the beach if they want their picture taken, okay? And then this woman takes the picture and then just walks into the ocean forever. forever. It's a zombie. And for people who think that being zombified is some exotic disease or disorder, just ask RFK. Just ask him. Matter of fact, do this. Google what the fuck he was doing at a park a couple days ago. Spoiler, he was eating handfuls of dirt. Feeding the brainworm. This is not a joke.
So now you're telling me with everything else we have going on right now, we have to deal with a potential zombie apocalypse happening? You heard me correctly, a zombie apocalypse. Now, before we brush this story off as someone is making it up, oh, it's fake, people are crazy, there are some very convincing videos going around social media, and I've seen 4 of them now in under 24 hours. The first one coming from London, where people described a group of people looking like zombies consuming what looked to be other people or potentially deceased animals. Okay, so one video, one crazy video. Then I see a video coming out of Tennessee where a lady is describing almost the exact same situation. Okay, we got 2 videos. Now, a third video scrolls. A lady in North Carolina, a very convincing lady, talking about how her and her husband went out and behind a store, they saw what appeared to be a zombie-like pale woman consuming either another person or a deceased animal. So now we got 3 videos. Now this morning, I see the exact same type of video coming out of Seattle, claiming the same thing that they saw in London is happening in Seattle. So I looked into this story, of course, because I wanted a more scientific approach at it. And the scientific approach is that most likely this story is made up out of 3, which then red flag, boop, 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 boop. That's them trying to cover up that this might potentially be real. So they're saying that the disease may be coming from deer. Now, I don't know how many countries have deer. I would assume England does. I know America does. So that could be likely, but truth starts somewhere. And for all of these people to have such convincing stories of what they saw and it had to do with a zombie apocalypse, we all have a lot going on. I don't know if we can handle a zombie apocalypse on top of all of this.
There's a theory currently circulating that a zombie outbreak is being hidden from the general public, and while that sounds crazy at first, what if they're onto something? According to some allegations, a zombie outbreak started in the UK and slowly worked its way down to the US, all of it being covered up. According to the same person who made these allegations, there were a few situations both in the UK and the US where a person bit another person and a wide area around that incident was quarantined for a day or 2. Now, I wasn't able to find any information on that, so take that with a grain of salt. I did, however, find out that a government office in Texas released preparation guides on how to survive a zombie attack. And oddly enough, in just the last 2 weeks, 2 people were recorded on separate occasions eating deceased animals raw, which I'll admit is extremely strange behavior. Now, obviously, a zombie outbreak is an extreme scenario, and it's most likely not gonna happen. But if it did happen, what would you do? And would you survive?
Yeah, they don't know. Why are you asking that? For the people that thought it was a game, here you go.
Bro, what the fuck? What the
It's a deer.
She eating it, bro.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you eating that shit? Hey.
They ain't gonna ask you, man. That motherfucker crazy. Shut the door, man. She come bite you. Then you. Yeah, you heard dude said you sick as fuck. That's the wildest shit.
Yeah. Don't get caught with your pants down. If you think this is a joke, it's on you. It'll be too late for your ass. You know, when we used to talk about UFO, human meat in the food, poison in the food, when we first start talking about it, people say, oh, it's a conspiracy. All of them already is true now. Your government now coming out telling you that there's a UFO living among us. So we are the news. We give you the information first. The zombie apocalypse is coming. It's already in UK. And it's already here in US. You better prepare yourself before it's too late. If it's not, it's on you.
Soldier claims National Guard is eradicating zombies.
Guard, this is Specialist Woman, Washington National Guard. And what are we doing here, Specialist Woman? Well, as you see, we have a couple lanes up here. We've had some zombie activity in these derelict buildings in this little Salem, little country town. We're just trying to clear it out, try to keep everybody safe. We haven't had any casualties come through just yet, but we have had some gunshots in these surrounding buildings. All right, why don't we take a walk down there and see? So how common are these things? Well, we're thinning out the herd slightly, but it's still a really menacing threat. Yeah, people don't know that it's actually a biological threat, not a chemical or radiological, like people are meant to know. That's a super common misconception. Biological is this. It's like a rash. It's not an environment that it's had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It's fairly commonly, I'd say once every 3 months somewhere in America. All right, so you see this big building right here? Yeah. We already cleared this one out about 2 hours ago, but we're still hearing noises. We still hear some scraping around in there. We think there might be a couple little things still going on. But we're going to take another sweep through there. And I just said we're right now set up for
Still movement. Gonna sweep it again.
All right, and the point of this right now is to decon any of our guys or any civilians that are caught. Absolutely. Anything from a slight blood splatter to a full-on bite or a penetrating wound. But in fact, not everyone who gets bitten transforms. I know there's a lot of misconception with all the movies and stuff going on. You know, fairly common to see these guys just laughing. I mean, it's a pretty safe thing. A full-blown epidemic is pretty much not likely to happen. You have to have a predispositioned ability to get turned into one. Absolutely. Not only that, but it's a bite that really kills you. You already have the strain available in your stream to turn into this zombie or this flesh eater or this. Biggest misconception is that they don't go for the brain. A lot of TV shows put that out that they eat brain, but no. But nevertheless, we take this quite seriously. Absolutely. It's a huge operation we have going right now. We liaison with several different guard agencies and even the Homeland Response.
Homeland Security.
So you can see their major vehicle. It's just on the other side of this tank. So we're gonna get to their vantage point really. All right, let's take a walk. Yeah. Just watch your step. Of course. We don't really choose the areas these things happen at, and we got the best option, best place where to do it. Yeah, you notice how it's wild. It's basically a backyard. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Wow, look at all those generators, y'all.
Stretchers, any wounded. Now these mobile stations up here, they're fairly well organized, and they're really the first responders.
Wow, it's this big time.
Major hotspots to hit. We have MPs around the whole area containing the situation so it doesn't spread. A perimeter is super important in a situation like this. We control what's going on the site, but we have to control what's going on around the site as well.
Y'all, I might be tripping, but like, why the fuck does Van say zombie response team? Zombie outbreak response team. What the fuck does this even mean? Is this a real van? I work at the hospital, y'all. Why the fuck it say zombie response fucking team? Oh, hell no.
I believe what kind of truck this is. Read that back. Zombie outbreak response team. Dang, that guap. How much money that truck cost though?
Going on, but it's so crazy. I'm at my son's football practice, right? And I'm like, let me just look down. Just randomly just look down at the cars and walking past them. What do I see in front of me? I'm gonna show you. Okay, so this is the street, all right? This is the car. As I'm walking past the car to go up here, I look down, and what do I see? This shit says Zombie Outbreak Response Team.
Now, if y'all remember, there were claims that the CIA mentioned things about zombies. Well, look.